Adam and Eve, the Eden story. Introduction. This book tells the story of what the world would have been like if Adam and Eve had simply obeyed God and not listened to the serpent and not eat from the tree of knowledge of good and evil. The characters in this story are real life people whose names were mentioned in the Bible, while other characters are figures of angels and unfallen beings on other worlds. God created this new beautiful world called Earth and had placed on it a garden in which Adam and Eve lived. It was God's will and intention for the human race to live forever in this paradise world, never experiencing pain, suffering, or death. Let us now dive into the story of Eden Earth. Chapter 1. After the Sabbath day has ended, Adam and Eve went to work in the garden planting and sowing. Hey Eve, can you help me finish sowing the seeds on this side? Asked Adam. Sure, Adam, said Eve. Eve helped Adam sow the seeds. We should really get to work on our new house. I have some great decorating ideas, said Eve. I'm sure your ideas are fantastic, my beloved wife. We will indeed begin our house as soon as we're done here, said Adam. They finished sowing the seeds, then started making bricks to build their house. Eve went and got a behemoth animal. Start getting rid of some of this grass right here in this spot, said Eve to the behemoth. The behemoth started eating the grass. Adam came over to the area with the bricks. You're ready. You ready? Asked Adam. Let's get started, replied Eve. They started laying the bricks down. After a while, they finished laying the bricks. Now we just have to grow the vines over them, said Eve. We'll have to do the rooms for our children first, dear. Let's take a break for a while and go out for a walk, said Adam. Why, that will be lovely, dear husband, said Eve. They walked out of the garden and started walking through the plains, passing by high hills covered with flowers of every color. Birds were flying in the air while singing as deer and wolves were running about together. They came up to a huge pond and seen fish jumping up. So what should we call those creatures? Asked Eve. Fish, let's call them fish, replied Adam. I was thinking more like swimmers, said Eve. Then we can call them swimmer fish. How about that? Said Adam. That's more like it, said Eve. They continued walking past the high lofty trees and lofty plants. Various animals came to them while they were walking. Well, hello, little creature, said Eve to a squirrel. Adam patted a lion. Let's start giving them all names. I'll call this one a lion, said Adam. I'll call this furry little thing a squirrel, said Eve. This one can be a sheep for its soft fur, said Adam. A big bird landed on Eve's arm as she stretched it out. This will be an eagle, said Eve. Nice one, said Adam. Adam looked over at a herd of cattle. We'll call them over there cows, said Adam. And they over there can be called oxen, said Eve. After a while, they named the rest of the animals, then continued their walk. They stopped and looked up at a high tree with apples. Wonder what's up there? Asked Eve. Only one way to find out, darling wife, said Adam. Adam took Eve by the hand and they flew up to the top of the tree. They seen a huge nest. An eagle swooped down and landed in it. I think she's having babies, said Eve. And I will believe that you are right, said Adam. They watched as the eagle laid an egg. It's going to be a while before it hatches, said Adam. Then why don't we go back to the garden and we'll come back here and check tomorrow, said Eve. We will do that indeed, said Adam. They flew back to the garden. As the sun began to set, they did some last minute work in the garden. Afterward, they took fruit off the tree of life and ate one of them, then gathered the rest into a sack. We'll start back on our house in the morning, dearest, said Adam. Then let's go see the rest of the world tonight, said Eve. After they finished their work, they went out during the night and started touring the world. Months went by as they worked and built their house in the garden. studied the wonders of light and sound, as well as traveled and toured the world, visiting every jungle, sea, and plain, befriending the animals. They've also toured the sun and moon, making discoveries. One evening, when the sun was setting, Eve was working by herself near the tree of knowledge of good and evil. She had a sudden sense of fear and danger as she was working. Suddenly, she heard a voice call out to her. She looked around. Adam, she said. She heard the voice again. She looked in the direction of the tree, then started walking toward it. Adam, where are you? She said. As she was getting closer to the tree, she heard the voice coming from it. She looked up at the tree, examining it. Well, that's not possible. Trees don't speak, she said. Suddenly, a bright green serpent with legs and wings came down from the branches and called her name. Eve, Eve, why do you look so puzzled? Said the serpent. Because I'm looking at a serpent that's talking, Eve said. Thanks to the fruit of this tree, I have acquired the ability to speak, my dear, for this fruit has great virtue, said the serpent. Emmanuel told us not to eat the fruit of this tree, lest we be destroyed, said Eve. Did Emmanuel really mean what he said? Surely he doesn't mean that you'll be destroyed, for he himself knows that by the virtue of this fruit you will become a god like him, said the serpent. This doesn't seem right, said Eve. Just give it a try. Besides, I have eaten from this tree, and I have not been destroyed, but only gained the power to speak, said the serpent. Eve looked at the tree as it seemed good for food. I will not. Emmanuel told us not to eat of this tree, for he alone is God, and him we ought to obey, said Eve. Eve turned around and started walking away. Adam came to her. Eve, there you are. Is all well over here? Asked Adam. Yes, all is well in this area except for that talking serpent on that tree, said Eve. Adam looked at the serpent. Serpents can't talk, dear, said Adam, but he spoke to me saying that fruit from that forbidden tree gave him the power to speak, said Eve. That is but foolishness. No fruit has that kind of virtue. It was simply a ploy. Let's just get back to our house and have dinner, said Adam. All right, dear, lead the way, said Eve. They walked off and went to their house. Eve cooked the dinner, then they sat and ate. Why don't we go out around the galaxy tomorrow, dear? Said Adam. That sounds like an excellent idea. I would like to see what magnificent things the Lord has created out there, said Eve. We will rest in the moonlight tonight, then as soon as the sun rises, we will depart, said Adam. After dinner, they walked out of their house with their pet lion, tiger, and bear, and went to the ocean shore. While they were watching the tides, Elixir and Ezekiel appeared before them. Greetings, Adam. Greetings, Eve, said Elixir. Greetings, strangers, said Adam. I am Elixir, and this is Ezekiel. We are prime elites from Salem City in heaven, who stand in the presence of the Mighty One. We are here to see if all is well, said Elixir. Yes, all is well, Elixir. We've named all the animals, and we will be touring the galaxy tomorrow, said Adam. That is excellent, Adam, said Ezekiel, as he was writing. Yeah, and we've also built our house, and I am currently pregnant with child, said Eve. Most excellent indeed, the first child of the human race to be conceived, said Ezekiel. We shall be there when the child is born. All of Salem City is rejoicing that you have resisted temptation and remained faithful unto God, said Elixir. Oh, really? They saw that? Asked Eve. Yes, we have an intense interest in the destiny of this world, said Elixir. Go on and continue to enjoy your night, and we will return soon, said Ezekiel. Indeed, we will enjoy our night, Ezekiel, said Adam. The Elixir and Ezekiel disappeared. So they saw that talking serpent too, said Eve. Apparently they are watching everything in this world, said Adam. They lay down on the shore and relaxed. As they were relaxing, they were looking at the stars in their true color, and listening to the music like sounds coming from them. This is so magnificent, dear. Those stars are so beautiful. I can't wait to see them up close, said Eve. I bet each one of those stars have their own name, said Adam.